All this national motocross action is proudly brought to you by TRP Distributors, Cannabis Energy Drink, and their associate sponsors. It's been a long break and we head to the oldest motocross club in the country, Pietermaritzburg Motocross Club, looking to host round 2 of the TRP National Motocross Championships. No spectators allowed at the circuits just yet. And that means that all these guys are going to have to fight in front of their friends and family. That's the only people that were allowed into the circuit. And of course the teams now looking forward to getting back onto the tracks around the country to go to battle for this weekend's doubleheader. We're going to bring you part 1. It's Saturday and almost ideal conditions for motocross. A little overcast, a small breeze down in Thunder Valley, and looking forward to some hot action out on track. Cannabis Energy Drink have joined us as part of the official sponsors, and in the practice sessions, guys just trying to get the final bit of prep done on their motorcycles. As you can see, the track is prepped to perfection, and looking forward to all the battles that are going to happen all day long, here today on Saturday, and of course tomorrow, Sunday's doubleheader. We're going to kick things off as we head into the MX3s and ladies combined. It's not usually what happens in motocross, but with slightly smaller fields due to the COVID environment, we have to take on what we get. And here we go. The 15-second board comes up from our Cannabis Energy lady. As it turns to 5, it'll be eyes down and waiting for those gates to drop, heading towards turn 1. Who's going to get the whole shot? Welcome to the house of Brett Bircher. Is he going to have what it takes to beat everybody down into turn 1? No, it's Lloyd Verkuil who gets the whole shot. He's using this for a little bit of opportunity and extra practice, but on his tail you can see pushing hard is Ian Topless, and Bircher not getting quite the start he wanted. So out front, 777 leads out. That is Lloyd Verkuil using it for a little bit of extra practice. Welcome return for Wyatt Avis into motocross here in South Africa as well. He's in second and Bircher's in third. How far back is Topless? Looks like he's about 4th or 5th place at this point in time, fighting there with Mark Ansley and John O'Hubbard, also a man who'll be watching to get to the front end as quickly as he can. As they come through Gurney Corner, you can see Topless just taking his time to get to the front end. As I said, Lloyd Verkuil, 777 out front, not really a man to watch out for in this class. He's using this for a little bit of extra practice for the 2 premier categories later in the day. But certainly a man to watch out for is going to be Wyatt Avis as he starts to make his way to the front end and try and close down on Lloyd Verkuil. Verkuil opening up a big margin at this point as they go through the Cannabis Energy Drink section into the FMF turn. Good start there from Wyatt Avis and a great welcome return for him. There's Bircher now moving up in about 3rd spot on track at this point. Local track knowledge will be helping him out there. He's only from just down the road, but look at that, just down the road from him. There's a big move being put on there by the 121 of John O'Hubbard and by, of course, the hard-charging Ian Topless. Kayla Raff has not been troubled all weekend in the ladies category and has got a massive margin over Jadine DeLima and Natasha Regani. I don't think there's going to be any issues there for her. 777 slowing down now. Verkuil pulling to the sideline, not wanting to take any points away here. He's had the practice that he needed. It's going to give opportunities now for our ladies. That's Jadine DeLima now, fighting hard for second place there with Natasha Regani. Good battle between the two of them, actually. So it means that Avis now takes the lead. Wyatt Avis leads out in the MX3 category. Is it John O'Hubbard who's... No, it's not. It's still Bircher, but Hubbard and Bircher going at it still. It's not over between the two of them. I think Verkuil is probably going to pull in at some point in time and not take away any of those valuable championship points with the slightly shortened version of 2020's championship. Nice move there from Topless. He's got to the head now of the 40-plus category. He's going to get to the head of the race as well. He's just behind Wyatt Avis. So in terms of the overall on track at this point in time, it's Bircher who's down to 4th place. Avis will probably be leading things out once that 777 pulls out, and Topless in second. Raff with no issues at all, and looks like she's got plain sailing right to the closing stages. It's Jadine DeLima who hangs on for second place. Checkered flag time is beckoning, and Wyatt Avis is looking good for that first checkered flag of the day. Bircher with lots of support from the family on the sideline as he comes through for a possible 3rd overall. It'll be second in his category behind Topless, so some work to do. Hubbard has had a good start so far. He'll be second behind Wyatt Avis for the 30-plus category. Start to the day's racing here with the MX3s and ladies combined as they go down into the closing stages now. Wyatt Avis looking for an opportunity to come back into South African motocross and take a victory in his first time of asking here in 2020. Not a bad way to start the proceedings. Remember, it's a double header, so we've got today's racing and tomorrow still to come. Avis is doing it all right, closing in some back markers, coming up on the back end, I think, of Savannah Van Vuren. Or that might have been Cheyenne Delim, actually. And then a little bit of late charge there coming from Bircher to try and close down on Topless, but I think Topless has got enough in hand there to keep Bircher out. That's the gap you can see as they come out of that FMF corner, heading across the start-finish straight. Hubbard still down in third place, but second in his class. He's second behind Wyatt Avis in the 30-plus category as he also goes back through the back markers. No one going to catch this young lady. Kayla Raff just annihilating the rest of the ladies out there. No answer at all from Jadine DeLima, but she hangs on for second place. How far back is that third place? Oh, right there. Nice little move there. Ainsley having some fun and games there with the ladies in the mid-pack. So Mark Ainsley just keeping it all together and looking for a chance now possibly to finish up third overall in the 40-plus category. So Raff leads things out. The 7-7 there of Jadine DeLima trying to close her down, but it's just too far up the road there for Jadine to do anything about the Kawasaki mounted lady up front. And I think Kayla Raff will hang on. Further back, Savannah Van Vuren also just getting to the end of the race now as the 121 of Hubbard goes past her. Checkered flag is on standby, and there it is. First race win and a welcome return to SA Motocross for Wyatt Avis. Takes the victory, and in the ladies category, it's Kayla Raff to take the win for the ladies. Jadine DeLima will come through for second place, and Natasha Rogani will get the third place in the ladies category. But in the top of MX3s, it's Wyatt Avis ahead of Hubbard, and a great ride there from Topless to beat out Bircher for the 40-plus category. Ladies, once again, confirmation, it's Raff, Rogani, DeLima, and Savannah Van Vuren.
It was pretty good, hey. The track was quite muddy, so I just checked out the track a bit. But all in all, it went well. Been training really hard for it. Hard work paid off. Happy with the results in the Heat 1.
Straight into one of the premier categories of the South African Championship, and MX2s in the gate now. Expect big battles there between Goosen, Fitzgerald, possibly Reynard in the mix as well. Purden will definitely looking to get to the front, as will Slade Smith and Cam DeRoe. 15-second board is up, 5-second board, and gates about to drop for the first heat of MX2s. Round 2 here of the TRP National Motocross Championship. Who's going to have what it takes? What is the whole shot going to look like as they go through Cannabis and into Bridgestone for the first time? That Bridgestone corner is a very tricky one. You can see a lot of guys washing out and getting into the sideline and eventually dropping down into Thunder Valley. It's a fantastic start, and out front looks like Kieran Fitzgerald might be the man to beat you today. Look at the battles raging there for third and fourth place as we see David Goosen starting to make his way to the front end. It is Kieran Fitzgerald who leads things out. Right on his tail, it's David Goosen looking to get to second, but it's not in second just yet. That is now with Slade Smith, and Slade Smith getting a fantastic start trying to run there with Kieran Fitzgerald as the rest of them come flying through and get through the gurney turn. They come over the 100% jump now, and a little bit of pressure coming from Goosen. Goosen closing down on Slade Smith, and Slade Smith just soaking the pressure up, but David Goosen means business. You can see just how hard he's having to try and get to the front and get ahead of Slade Smith. The rest of the pack come through there. You got out Cam DeRoe. Watch out for Dalton Fenter as well. Kieran Fitzgerald is doing it all right as they come through the start area for the first time and completes the first lap in anger. Fitzgerald doing it to perfection. Slade Smith in second place, closing him down and bringing David Goosen along for the ride. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of a rage here between the two Yamahas. But watch out for the man in fourth place starting to close down as well. Tristan Purden, slowly but surely ticking them off. As usual, Purden not getting the start, but he's got late race pace like no one can find. Coming back up towards Gurney. And it is Kieran Fitzgerald with Slade Smith applying the pressure even more now as they come out of that Gurney turn. And looks like a little bit of maneuver there from David Goosen as well. He's just settled down into a rhythm. It's a bit too early to maybe show his cards and get to the front. Back over 100% they come, and the rest of the pack starting to sort things out there. Cam DeRoe starting to make his way to the front end too, trying to join Tristan Purden for the run to possible top 3. Look out in the background too, picking up on Anthony Reynard. Also didn't quite get the start he wanted, but slowly but surely making his way into that top 5. Further back, battles continue. Jesse Wright having a nightmare of a start. That is definitely not where Jesse Wright wants to be. He was a race winner early on in the season before lockdown, remember? And now as we get into the mix, it is Kieran Fitzgerald starting to turn the wick up. He's pulling away and doing it all right. This is the way he likes to run. At the front, get away. It's Goosen up to second now. So David Goosen up to second, and looks like he's got through on Slade Smith. Slade Smith looks like he might have had a bit of an issue. Just watching in the background of the shots that we've got here, you can see Slade Smith is not in third place at this point in time. It looks like there might have been a big change up there. There he is. He's down to about 5th or 6th, just ahead of Reynard. So Anthony Reynard closing things down there on Slade Smith after a little mistake somewhere on track. We didn't pick up on that one, but it's Goosen in second and Purden in third at this point in time. Purden now with a bit of pressure to take as they come through there. You can see why, because there are 5 motorcycles all looking for a chance to get through and get back up onto the podium. This is great to see. Matty Green, local man, using the motocross for a bit of off-road and enduro training. National off-road and enduro rider there, running in just outside the top 10, in fact, so not a bad effort there from Matt Green. They go through the green section. It's the Cannabis energy drink section, and it's a Red Bull KTM out front at this point. Closed down by the Monster Energy Yamaha. It's the battle of the energy drinks out there. Look at this. A 3-4 coming through here in a big way and looking for opportunities. You can just see how Cox is under pressure now from Purdon. Purdon and Cox side by side, and how's that? Purdon taking that 100% tear off, and Brad Cox looks straight into his new clean visor. Great shot there. Further back, 81, that is Jaden Proctor fighting for a chance to be in the top 5. He's just out of it at this point in time. 2 positions up and you're into the top 5. That's not a bad effort there from Proctor. Top 2 getting away. There's the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th place. As you can see, it still continues there between Cox and Purdon. Brad Cox now possibly in with a bit of pressure there from Tristan Purdon. Can they keep it all together? Look at that. Oh, big move on the inside. Cox gets forced wide, and there's Purdon on the inside of Gurney. Finds a way through and up into 3rd place. So Tristan Purdon now trying to open up a gap. He's done that. He's got away from Brad Cox. In fact, Cox has gone missing there ever so slightly. He's dropped back behind Anthony Reynard. So Reynard also getting through, and watch out, here comes Slade Smith trying to get back to the front. Kieran Fitzgerald hangs on with a couple of corners to go. As he gets into the Thor section, it's a Thor jersey that's on his chest. Trying to stay ahead of the Fox mounted rider there, just behind him. As they've come out of the Thor TRP hairpin, just behind them is Tristan Purdon now. He's opened up a little bit more of a margin. Is it Slade Smith? No, it's Reynard. Where is Smith? Where is Cox? There we go. It's DeRoe coming through. And then only Dalton Fenter. Where is Slade Smith and where have Cox got to? The 2 of them have dropped back rapidly there in that last lap. So maybe a couple more small mistakes out of those 2 riders. Purdon hanging on for dear life at this point, and he's got Anthony Reynard closing him down. Cam DeRoe slowly but surely reeling in Reynard. Can he find a way through there on the Cape Town man? There is Brad Cox. Something must have gone wrong there for the KwaZulu-Natal man as they got into that lap. He was right there with Tristan Purdon. Maybe a small mistake or possibly even a block pass cost him, or wrong gear out of a corner. There's so many variables that can come in motocross, and Brad Cox knows all about those. As you see Goosen there, slow-mo over the big tabletop down in Thunder Valley. Followed by Purdon, right on their tail is Cam DeRoe, and there comes Dalton Fenter. Dalton Fenter's found some late race pace here, big time. Speaking of late race pace, Kieran Fitzgerald's in trouble, because David Goosen has closed on him rapidly and is right there now. So has Anthony Reynard on the back end of Purdon. So there's a battle for 1st and there's a battle for 3rd on track. Who's going to end up at the front end? Here comes Slade Smith. Good recovery from him. Massive recovery from him, closing on the back end of Reynard. Then you've got Cox ahead of the 22 there of Jesse Wright. Wright needs a better start. Didn't quite work out for him in the first one. Checkered flag is about to come out. You can see some happy supporters on the sideline there for Kieran Fitzgerald as he comes into the closing stages. Now, can he keep it all together? Yes, he can. The checkered flag comes out for the first heat of round 2 of the TRP National Motocross Championships, and it's Kieran Fitzgerald taking the win on the Red Bull KTM. Out of Africa, and Monster Energy Yamaha takes 2nd place with David Goosen on board, and the Red Bull KTMs make it 1 and 3 with Purdon in 3rd, beating out Reynard and Smith.
It was a good race. I got a good start and kind of tried to manage the race a little bit. Dave caught me in the about halfway. Got a little bit of arm pump and then that kind of faded away. But it was a good race. It was fun. Yeah, it was a good race.
Welcome back to action from the TRP National Motocross Championships down in Thunder Valley in Pietermaritzburg. And from the MX2 category, we now head into the future of the sport as the 50cc's head down to Bridgestone Corner for the very first time. Who's going to have what it takes to get the whole shot? It's a fantastic start. Look out for young Bircher. He's going to have a good turn of pace around this circuit, his home track. But he's going to be pushed hard by Frost, possibly by Maxwell Faree, Chase Becker and Trenton Kretzmann, the man who down at the first round before we went into the lockdown took one of the first victories of the season. But Chase Becker was the man who took the red plate, remember, so as they get into the heat of race number 1 here, there's certainly going to be some big battles to be sorted out. Out front, it is Kretzmann at the moment, ahead of Bircher. Brody had a fantastic outing here last year, remember, took his first national championship win on the same day that his dad took one. First time we've seen in a long time where father and son have been on the top of the podium. He's looking for a top step of the podium, but he's got a lot of work to do to close down on Trenton Kretzmann. Further back in that pack, nice little fights there between Ross McKenzie, Cabela Ledwaba and Christy Fletter. Travis Little in there too, and Connor Monroe. Look out for Damon Maloney as well. Wow, there's a man who should be very fast at the front end. He should be running number 27, not 17 though, Dad. And that might change up his luck ever so slightly. They go through the whoop section and, of course, across the start-finish line. Lots of support on the sideline from moms, dads, and family. That's all who are allowed into the track, remember. No spectators allowed here just yet. They come out of the prep sol section going across the start-finish line. The checkered flag is on standby. And it looks like it's going to be Trenton Kretzmann who's going to take it. The last lap board is out for everybody else, but Kretzmann gets the checkered flag and takes the victory comfortably ahead of Evan Frost and Brody Bircher. Maxwell Fourie had a great outing there and had a good battle for what was going to be 4th and 5th. But with Trenton Kretzmann taking the overall victory ahead of Brody Bircher and Evan Frost, he also takes the red plate heading into tomorrow's 3rd round. From the 50cc's, we head into 85cc juniors and the Pro Mini category. Very competitive class, as always, and slightly diminished field. Look out for Liam Buerta and Ryan Adler taking on Tyler Peterson and Timo Topfer. And in the 85cc's, look out for Cade van der Venter, Bryce Peterson and Lucas Venter at the front end. Lucas Venter will definitely be looking to emulate what his brother Dalton did earlier in the day. They're down in the gates and ready to go now. Eyes on the prize on a couple of these riders, and certainly looking for opportunities there from Calvin Ashford-Smith as well. Gates about to drop and head towards Bridgestone corner for the first time. Who's going to have what it takes to get the whole shot? Expect a big battle between the 85 Pro Minis and the Juniors as they head down there. Very evenly matched category here. Just slightly bigger wheels differentiating the two classes. Whoa, look how rough it is out there for the slightly smaller wheels on the Juniors as they go through turn 1. A little bit more ruts than what they expected, but they get out of turn 1 and literally everybody stays upright. Great start there from Neil van der Vyf as he hangs on. He's a man that we didn't mention at the start, but certainly a man who wants to take a championship in this category after stepping up on back-to-back victories out of 50s, in the 65s, and now in the 85 Pro Minis. Van der Vyf is certainly a man that wouldn't be taken out of the betting at this point in time. Big field comes through there and they start to sort things out there in the mid-pack as well. It's Cade van der Venter and Bryce Peterson looking for chances in the junior category. But 222, Cade van der Venter is the man to beat at this point in time as he hangs on to the lead of the race overall in the Pro Minis. Coming through there, Peterson, Venter, Vian de Ploy and Carl Townsend. Watch out for Seth Young too, the man from Swaziland, as there's confirmation of our leader in the Pro Minis. What a start here from Tyler Tarantino, forcing Lucas Venter high and wide out of the final corner. Right on their tail was the 199 of Vian de Ploy. And you can see the mid-pack coming through here, just sorting themselves out as well. But they're all trying to close down on Cade van der Venter, who leads things out. He's just got to grips with this track absolutely to perfection, loving conditions and leading things out. Bryce Peterson in second place. We can see battles coming through there between Tristan DeRoe. He's a bit further back than what he'd like to be. Fighting out there with Thor Johnson. And just behind them, Nathan Kuhn. 17 of Liam Buerta leads out in the junior category ahead of Ryan Adler. So that's how things stand in the juniors with a little bit more of the race still to go. 222, Cade van der Venter doing it all right. How far back is second? There it comes. And it looks like Bryce Peterson is hanging on for second. And he's keeping a little distance between himself. Maybe a bit of a roost gap there. Maybe he'll try a bit later on in the race to close things down on van der Venter. Lucas Venter, I think, has just got through there on Tarantino, and it looks like Tarantino might have lost out to Vian de Ploy and Carl Townsend as they head up into the Gurney turn. Pro Minis being led out by Cade van der Venter, controlling things just like Liam Buerta's doing in the juniors. The rest of the pack coming through here. So just trying to maintain the bikes being upright now, and of course starting to feel the effects possibly of a little lack of fitness and seat time due to the COVID scenario we've been in. Tarantino closing back onto the tail pieces there of the top 5. Can he find a way through on Seth Young and Carl Townsend? That is the question. Championship leader with that red plate is Liam Buerta. He's looking to maintain that lead of the championship heading into tomorrow's 3rd round. And 89 on his tail. He's down in 5th place, but Carl Townsend had one of the best rides we've seen under him in a long time as they go through the Thor hairpin. So the guys come through there nicely. 199 and 191. Nathan Kuhn taking on the 199 of Vian de Ploy. Well, not really. Oh, problems. Rider going down there, 227 with a bit of a crash there. Peter Brink just got it all wrong. Can he get the bike started again? He's backing to kick it started. He gets going, and yes, back into the fray. Just out of the Thor turn. Just got it all wrong. This man's got nothing wrong today. He's done everything right in this first heat and looks like he might be looking good for an overall for the day as well. Lucas Venter fighting hard for a potential 2nd and 3rd place with Peterson, who's going to have what it takes to the end. Bryce Peterson and Venter will fight it out right to that last corner. Trying to close down on van der Venter. Tarantino hanging on for a top 6, possibly, if he can find a way through there, maybe on Seth Young from Swaziland, he might get into the top 5. Lucas Venter starts his final lap. And looks like he's got a little bit of work to do to keep out the 199 of Vion Deploy. This man, as I said, doing it to perfection. What a great ride here from Cade van Deventer. Hasn't put a wheel wrong. Battle continuing there between Venter as they go through some of the back markers into the closing stages. It looks like a little bit of a late charge here coming out of Bryce Peterson, trying to close down on the back end. But I think van Deventer closed it down and slowed it down ever so slightly to beat Peterson to the line. Overall results there, Bryce Peterson taking the victory with the second win of the day, beating out Cade van Deventer and Vion Deploy. Lucas Venter in 4th place. Liam Buerta beats out Tyler Peterson and Adler, with Timo Topfer in 4th place in the 85cc Juniors. Welcome back to action from the TRP National Motocross down in Thunder Valley, Pietermaritzburg, and more action now coming from second heat of round 2 of the MX2s. First heat, we saw a big battle between David Goosen and Kieran Fitzgerald. Slade Smith made a small mistake, but this time out, it is Goosen around the outside and getting the whole shot, and looks like he wants to disappear at the front end. Right on his tail is Anthony Reynard. Reynard getting a much better start here for heat 2, and tucked in behind them, is that Slade Smith? Yes, it is. Kieran Fitzgerald didn't get the start he wanted, that is for sure, after taking the first victory. Let's see what he can do about it. Cam Deroe also tucked in the back end of the field with Tristan Purdon, the 2 KTM riders not getting where they want to be at the start of a race. If those 2 could get to the front from the heat and out of the gates, there would certainly be a whole change-up in the motocross in terms of South African championships at this point in time. Nice start there from Dalton Venter as well. There's Purdon, as I said, probably came out of turn 1 Bridgestone corner in about 3rd last position. So a massive mountain to climb here down in Thunder Valley. Crossing down into the TRP section. They head now for the first time in anger, and it's Purdon looking to close things down. At the front, though, it's David Goosen controlling things ahead of Reynard. Reynard ahead of Smith. Slade Smith now just trying to close down and find a way through on Reynard early on. He's got to try and get up there and stay with Goosen. He knows if Goosen's out front, there's a very good possibility he will control things from the front and possibly make it to the checkered flag first. And that's why we see Slade Smith with a slightly different body language there, going down into Thunder Valley. Looking to get onto the back end of that Ace Sports machine of Reynard, and he's closing down rapidly, taking a wide line. Kieran Fitzgerald takes the inside line. Tries to come round through there, and Venter's on his tail. Dalton Venter with, I think that's Cam Deroe just behind, yes. And then comes Purdon. Purdon just ahead of Matty Green, and looks like Jesse Wright with another bad start there. Brad Cox also with a terrible start, considering the fact that he was right up there fighting for 2nd and 3rd through heat number 1. They come out of Gurney turn now, heading to that 100% little step, and you can see it's 100% being given there by David Goosen. And probably 110% being given by Slade Smith and Reynard. Where is Fitzgerald? I think he's just behind. Oh, look how hard he's pushing. That was the fastest anybody's gone down that part of this track today. That is for sure. As Kieran Fitzgerald can see David Goosen getting away. He wants to try and close down, but he's got 2 bikes to get through before he can even get to David Goosen. So some work to do now for Fitzgerald. Reynard hangs on for 2nd place. Then it's Smith. Smith closing down on Reynard. Kieran Fitzgerald closing down on Smith. Just behind that, it's Deroe. Deroe with big attentions being shown there. In fact, getting through and ahead of Dalton Venter, and Venter could be in trouble now as Tristan Purdon has a big look. And heading to FMF, I think Purdon might have a go. He might just be able to get on the inside and get through. We'll have to wait and see. There it is. Oh, it's so close. He goes right on the outside, in fact. Wow, that's incredible. And goes for another little tear-off. Ripping it off right in front of Dalton Venter as he got through on him, and clears the vision now to give him a bit of roost behind. Out front, look at this battle between these 2 Yamahas. I don't know if Reynard's got an answer here to David Goosen. We're down in the bottom of Thunder Valley, and things are starting to heat up. Look at how hot it's getting now. Brad Cox with pressure from Purdon. Purdon under a bit of pressure of his own. Oh, it's so tight between these 3 riders. That's brilliant stuff. That's the kind of motocross we expect to see in MX2s. No holds barred and bar bashing as they come out of Thunder Valley. Further back, you can see the 202 bike going through there, the 282 of Daniel van Sale, another local man just using a little bit of opportunities here to be in the mix with national championship competitors. You're going to get a big wake-up call when these guys come flying through. But great to have him part and parcel of this event. Kieran Fitzgerald is slowly catching the back end of Slade Smith and looking for a chance now to maybe get to this man. But David Goosen is just not putting any wheel wrong out there. He is riding absolutely perfect lines and looking for chances now for a possibility of the win. Good chance of the change up there. I think Slade Smith might have got through on Reynard. Reynard and Smith have been fighting all race long. Oh, have a bit of roost there, Brad Cox. It's a massive amount of roost coming out of Tristan Purdon as he retakes the position there ahead of Brad Cox. Now Reynard returns the favour, gets back ahead of Slade Smith. So a bit of chopping and changing for second and third between the two riders. It's great to see the battles that are raging here for the second heat of round 2. Fitzgerald and Purdon, the two Red Bull KTMs now in each other's sights. And Purdon wants through on Kieran Fitzgerald, that is for sure. Dalton Fenter continues the battle there. Oh, lovely stuff. Fenter completely off the motorcycle on that Husqvarna as he went over the jump and headed down into the OGO section. Jaden Proctor's having an absolute stormer of a day, finishing up in possible 7th place. He's riding 7 gear there. That's exactly where he's going to finish up. 21 bike up front though. And it's David Goosen. Oh, no! A massive mistake from Anthony Reynard. Just looping that bike out front, the backside. And he gets back up and riding, but I think Kieran Fitzgerald might get through on him. Fitzgerald's going to fly past the stricken machine, and here comes Purdon along for the ride as well. Can Purdon get through on Reynard? Reynard making an uncharacteristic mistake there, just looping the back end out and losing control of the motorcycle. That has given Slade Smith 2nd place. Kieran Fitzgerald will be in 3rd, and is it going to be Purdon or possibly Reynard? Who's going to come through there first? Here comes Fitzgerald. So it's Red Bull KTM, then it's the A Sports Yamaha. There he comes, and right on his tail, look at that, there's Purdon. Purdon looking to pounce now, realising there was a mistake. Over 100%. Only a couple of corners to go for these guys, and it's going to be David Goosen who's controlled things literally from the whole shot. He came out of Bridgestone corner in the lead and has not been bettered since. And the checkered flag is on standby for David Goosen to take the 2nd victory of the day ahead of Slade Smith and Kieran Fitzgerald. Purdon eventually finished up in 4th place, beating Reynard to the line. Jaden Proctor, what a ride there in 6th place, ahead of Dalton Fenter, and eventually Cam DeRoe down in 8th place for the 2nd heat of MX2.
My bike was awesome, thanks to the Yamaha and Out of Africa team, everybody involved. Just there's so many to name, but thank you all. It comes from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
In the next show of the TRP National Motocross, we pick up on MX1 and the rest of the categories from Thunder Valley in Pietermaritzburg. All this national motocross action is proudly brought to you by TRP Distributors, Cannabis Energy Drink, and their associate sponsors.